is Asinine Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we get into a different band, different artist, and we break down one of the records. We get into the music, lyrics, how it was made, and everything in between. My name is Tyler, and way out there, hundreds of miles away, is Jeff. While you're listening, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars. If you're watching on YouTube, smash that subscribe button. And that's it for the boring intro. We are in the middle of Long Island season on the podcast, where all the bands we get into are from the lovely island of Long Island, New York. So what are we doing this week, Jeff? If people don't already know, what are we doing this week?
We're doing brand news, Deja Entendu.
Yes, this is their second record from 2003, and a very popular record. Sold a lot of records, well over 500,000 copies, which is a lot for a band like this. And people love this record. People absolutely love this record. So let's get into our origin story with Brand New, and then we'll get into some first impressions on Deja Entendu, and then start breaking it down, songs, bangers, stinkers, all that good stuff. So origin story, what do you got? Go.
Brand New's always been a band that has existed in the scope of us growing up. We knew somebody who always liked Brand New, who loved Brand New, and I never got into them, never gave them a chance really, and it mostly stemmed from like I just got into Taking Back Sunday, and I was like, I don't really need Brand New. I have this. This satisfies that itch, I guess. And it fatifies that itch. Fatifies. Again, the Mike Tyson thing.
Mike Tyson. Ethereal.
You know who said that was Alex Hodges. Like when we were. Have we talked about Alex Hodges before, right?
We did like not too long ago, yeah.
Yeah, he told Mr. Peck one time when we were doing like the wordly wise. Remember that shit in high school?
I do, yeah, in our English classes. Yeah.
And ethereal, I guess like our classes had trouble with ethereal. Like, what the fuck does ethereal mean, right? And then Alex Hodges is like, man, I like to just think of like Mike Tyson talking or telling someone to eat cereal, like ethereal. That stuck with me.
Oh man,
that was good. It's like
Alex Hodges was he was a funny guy, man. He was very, very, very funny.
He had like stoner kind of like vibes to him, but
he wasn't. He didn't look like a stoner. He didn't act like a stoner. But
yeah,
the way he
had
talked,
those, like that's like a stoner fight. He sounds like Mike Tyson saying "eat cereal." He was funny. He was funny.
Very funny.
Anyway,
two.
I think it wasn't until like Rudy and Joe where I listened to Brand New, and it was just Deja because Rudy was obsessed with Deja, and I was like, it's fine. I've always liked like the Maradona song, Maradona, Elvis, Me and You, Everybody. That's my favorite Brand New song. I've liked that for many, many years. It's been on many playlists, but I've never got into them until we did Daisy, and that's when I got into Your Favorite Weapon. And naturally, when we do an album on the pod that I don't really know a lot about the artist or never got into, whatever album that we're doing for the week is usually my number one, or it's at least in like the top 1, 2, or 3 if they have a lot of records. Mm-hmm. So the fact that Deja went from 3 to 2 truly means that I do like this record. I do like it a lot. I do like this record a lot. So I really don't have any nostalgia with Brand New other than I knew people. Like I said, we always had a friend, at least one friend who fucking loved Brand New. So that's fine. I have no nostalgia with these guys.
No nostalgia. All right, my origin story is The Quiet Things That No One Ever Knows. That music video on MTV. I remember exactly where I was at my grandparents' house in San Bernardino. It was like 11:30 midnight. I was just watching MTV, just eating burritos, vegging out, drinking soda because I was like a freshman in high school, just vegging out, and that video came on, and I really, really liked that song. I love that song. I still love it, and I was hooked. And I remember I went and burned this CD. I downloaded it illegally, of course. Burned it on a CD, and God damn it, I thought it was so boring. And for many years, the only songs I ever liked were the 2 singles, The Quiet Things and Sick Transit Gloria. And then, like you said, we had a lot of friends who love this band, love Jesse Lacey as a lyricist and everything. But we're not lyric men. That was another big thing too, why I never got into it. I'm sure you didn't get into it as well. But I always
Yeah.
kind of I always followed it along. I mean, when Devil Inside came out, people loved that one. But there was a few songs like Jesus Christ. I love that song. I also love The Archer's Bow. There's some great songs on there, but overall just didn't hook me. But it was Daisy. It was Daisy that hooked me. That I fucking love that. I love that album so much. So yeah, I mean, I do have nostalgia with this because of people I know, and I'd be liking those specific songs. And I've seen this band live 3 times. You were there one of the times. The first time I saw them was with you at Bamboozle, the Bamboozle West in Pomona. They played right after, or no, did they play before or after Thrice? I don't remember now.
I think they played before. I remember Thrice going into the nighttime.
Was that what it was? Okay.
I don't remember Brand New being at night.
Because Thrice and Brand New headlined that festival that day. Or Plus 44 was supposed to headline it, but Plus 44 pulled out. That was supposed to be their very first show, but then Travis broke his arm. So, yeah.
We saw the first show anyway.
We saw the first show anyway. Which is so cool, man. So cool at the Roxy, bro. But yeah, that was the first time I saw him was in 2006. And then I saw him on the Daisy tour. And then I saw him again in 2016 in Vegas. And that show in Vegas, I've talked about it on the pod, was easily one of the worst shows I've ever been to. When I saw them in 2009, it was an amazing show. It was fucking awesome. But yeah, that show in 16, it was terrible. The highlight of that show was watching a drunk girl in the crowd, get in a fight with a bunch of people and the security guards, and they threw her on the ground and hogtied her and carried her out. Hogtied. That was the highlight of that show for me. But yeah, anyway, that's my origin story.
Yeah, get pretty wild at a Brand New show to get hogtied.
Yeah, she was hitting people, knocking people around, like in the back, like not even in the pit. It was like in the back. Yeah, it was. She was
wild times at Brand New shows.
Anyway, that's my origin story. Some history.
Good.
And what are your? I mean, I guess we already kind of went into our first impressions on Deja Entendu. I think it's a solid record. I don't think every song is a banger. I don't think there are any stinkers. Do you have banger stinker? What's your banger stinker ratio?
Stingers. I have 6 true bangers.
Okay.
I have 6 true bangers. The intros, it's just an intro. So really, 6 out of the 10 songs I think are true bangers.
All right. I got 5. I got 5 out of the.
It's close. That's close. It's close.
It's close. It's close. Fucking Robert De Niro over here.
Crow.
All right. Since neither of us have stinkers, let's get into your number 1 banger. 1B. What's your 1B? Go.
Me versus Maradona versus Elvis. That is my banger.
That didn't even make my bangers list.
This is the only song by Brand New that I've ever playlisted long before, like since high school. Like this has always been, there were playlists in high school, but this has always been like my favorite song and the only song that I know the lyrics to. Like I knew what it was about. Like I knew what was going on. Not like going on with the allegations. I just knew what he was talking about in the song. And I really, really do like this song a lot. And coming out with the allegations, this song has kind of like turned into a total different thing. But yeah, we'll get into it. It's my favorite song. It's my favorite Brand New song, like by fucking far. Like not even close. Wow. There's no second.
Not even a banger for me, man. I wouldn't normally playlist this one.
It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be like stupid.
It's
things.
good. No, it's a good song. It's not a stinker at all, but it's like the first 3 minutes and 20 seconds is just Jesse.
Part.
It's just Jesse. He's singing, like kind of whispery singing, like very quietly singing, strumming an electric guitar clean through a clean channel, very kind of melancholy, sad. And then even when the whole band comes in after, because this song is 5 minutes and 19 seconds long. After the band comes in at 3:20, it doesn't pick up. It's still very kind of sad sounding. There's the big, heavy, distorted like power chords just being rung out with the lead, or with Vince playing, or Vincent, whatever his name is, Vin, just playing the clean single notes, plucking those. It just kind of like rolls along. There's nothing bad about it, but I don't know.
It's like,
I get it. It's sad.
It's like if like emo kids tried to make this weird like psych rock song, it would come out like this.
It would, yeah.
And that first part, like, yeah, dude, it's just like heavy verb with a little bit of a delay, and he's just kind of lamenting, and I think that if he wasn't such a big fat douchebag, I think like through and through, even if there were no allegations ever coming out against him, I still would think he's a bad person, based off of these lyrics. Like the guy's an asshole. He treats people like garbage, and he's a fucking dick. So I think this could have been just like a really beautiful confessional, like lament. It could have just been like his, like, yeah, I'm a fucking dick. Like, here I am, type of thing. Like, I'm going to own it, right? Like that type of song. But like, it's going to be hard not to talk about the sexual stuff, because that's a big part of where we're at now versus where we were then. And especially because I don't have nostalgia with this band. But this is, dude, this is a creep song, man. Like, the chorus here is like the sleaziest on the record. Like the way he uses the word lie is fucking gross. The way he says, my tongue will taste of gin and malicious intent. Dude, you are a fucking douchebag. Like, that's crazy. That is crazy. I like the idea of a songwriter just laying it all out there. Like, yeah, I'm a douchebag. Here is why I'm a douchebag. Like, I can get behind that. Like, I think that's just decent songwriting, or good songwriting. Whether or not it's even true, because sometimes songwriters will do that and it's not true, or it's in the view of a different person. But yeah, I like this song. I like how it builds. I think that when it drops in and we get that first chorus and he's, lie, man, lie. It doesn't need to be fast, right? Like, and they do it a lot. They do a lot where like they drop into a chorus and it speeds up, like they double time it. And that's why I praise some of the stuff on Daisies. They didn't need to do that. They didn't need to drop in and speed up a chorus. They kept everything slow. And some parts of this record, they sped up the vocals but slowed down the instrumentals on some of these other songs. And so I think that's cool. I think that's a good way to keep me engaged with what you are saying. And I think how he says, even though it's kind of like douchey, but like how he says, how he tells his story, I think it's pretty damn cool. It's pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's another thing I want to commend him on, is that he's a damn good storyteller. And honestly, I like his lyrics a lot.
Yeah,
the way
they're pretty good.
Dude, his lyrics are fantastic. Like, I wasn't really impressed. I haven't been impressed by lyrics in a long time. Like, the only other person I really enjoyed, and I've said it before on the podcast, was Dustin Kensrue from Thrice. I loved his lyrics on Artist in the Ambulance. And Alex, Alex Varkatzis from Atreyu, on that first Atreyu record. I loved his lyrics on that record. And I feel kind of the same way about this one. The metaphors he uses, the way, just the words, the way he builds this world in a single song, I think is fantastic. I mean, I now understand why people love his lyrics, and not just girls, like guys and girls. Like, there's like, gender doesn't matter with this band. Like, I feel like people who really love Brand New, it's split down the middle gender wise. You know, girls and guys both love this band equally as much. Because I mean, there are also moments on this record where, on certain songs, where the lyrics are ambiguous enough to where you can put yourself in that the narrator's position, whether you're a guy or a girl. Like, you can relate. He's just a fucking good songwriter, a good lyricist. Absolutely, just a fucking awesome lyricist. I love it.
It's a double whammy, because he's talking about things that like pretty much all adolescents go through, like the idea of like just two kids trying to make it honest, right? Like everybody goes to fucking parties, dude, and like young kids, you go to parties for like one reason, to hook up with somebody. That's just a fucking fact. Men, women, well, boys, girls, because we're not like men at that point or women at that point, we're just a bunch of idiot kids. But like, hormones are raging. That's the only reason why we didn't throw parties to fucking watch movies or talk about politics. Like, no, dude, it's silly boy talk. And so you can relate to that on that kind of like more nostalgic level. And this song would have been kind of in that vein, because like you assume that everybody's like of age, right? You assume everybody's there is at least in the same ballpark of where you're at. And like, obviously we started drinking before we were 21. And usually most people do, like the 19, 18 area. But like you assume everyone's there, like maybe a year or two younger than you, like maybe tops, right? Like, when you get past that, especially when you get like under like the age of 18, then it's just like, dude, that's just that's a whole different world and a whole different ball game that like nobody needs to fucking dick around with.
Yeah.
And it's hard. And I agree. Prior to like 2017, that's when everything kind of broke with Jesse Lacey. I would have agreed that, yeah, these lyrics can be very ambiguous, can be very through the eyes of X or Y person. But after that, like I have a hard time not thinking like, damn, dude, even though you're singing about like another song we'll get into, but like even though you're singing about like being the victim, like I think this is about you being a dickhead to somebody again.
Yeah. Now, so yeah, there are a lot of questionable things in this particular song in the Me versus Maradona versus Elvis that, you know, in hindsight, it's like, man, was he like maybe subconsciously or even consciously writing these lyrics about himself and the way he felt? Because, you know, the allegations that came out in 2017, they were from girls who were 15 around this time, around 2001, 2002, which was roughly when this record was written and recorded. And he was, so the main girl, she was 15, he was 24, that allegation. And I mean, if you take
much.
that all into consideration, like, wow, the coincidence, it's quite the coincidence.
Of course.
Quite the coincidence there. But then I did see some people defend Jesse Lacey. So on the other end, they interpreted the song differently. Yeah, in hindsight, it does come off as rapey, and he was coercing this girl into having sex and all that. But somebody made a good point, and they said, well, if you look at it this way, it could also be about, you know, you're at a point in your life, you're young, you're young, you're 19, 20 years old, you don't really know what you want to do with life. You're lonely, you're depressed, you're just kind of going through the motions of what you always do, going out with partying with friends, meeting with girls, and the girls want the same thing as you, like, or they're in the same spot as you. They're a little bit lost, they're lonely as well, and you're both are kind of like a shell of what you normally are, and you're just kind of going through the motions, like, this is what we're supposed to do at a party, this is what we're supposed to do together. And it's nobody's looking for more than that, than just a quick fuck, you know.
Yeah,
and
agreed.
and when you go into this song with that mindset in the lyrics, I can 100% see that viewpoint on this song. And that's another thing that I feel makes Jesse Lacey a great lyricist, because you have both ends of the spectrum. You have a song that could very possibly be about rape, and then another viewpoint is that it's just about loneliness, and on both sides. And there was no coercion, there was no rape, no date rape, nothing like that. And I think that's just good fucking songwriting.
To be fair, like, I don't think any song on here is about rape. I don't think there's any song on here that makes me think like, oh, he's writing about raping somebody. But I do think, and again, like, if he was like 16 or 17 when he wrote this, and he's hanging out with 15-year-olds, that's a different story than 24 hanging out
that's
with
a
15.
big difference.
And the fact that, like, once you find out somebody is of that age, and you still have a relationship with them, or you still ask for things, or you still like, that's when the overall problem becomes like an intense problem, other than like a really, really big oopsie. Like, now we're talking like, you are a fucking bad person.
Speaking of that,
Jesse Lacey is.
Speaking of that, real quick. So you and I went to high school from 2001, and we graduated in 2005. I'm not going to say her name, but when we were freshmen in high school, my girlfriend at the time, Jessica, was really good friends with this girl, and she was really cool, super nice girl. And we're still like Instagram friends or whatever. And she was dating a guy her freshman year of high school, who she had been dating since she was in 8th grade in junior high. And when she was a freshman, he was 20 or 21 years old when she was a freshman. And not only that, nobody cared. And I remember, because when Jessica and I went to, it was either homecoming or winter formal, that the dance in high school when we were freshmen, we went with this girl, and she brought, like, in a group of people, and she brought that boyfriend who was like 20, 21 years old, and the school allowed it, her parents allowed it. Like, it was almost like nothing. Like, I remember us thinking, like,
That's crazy.
he's really old, but it was just like, who cares? Like, it was kind of like, who cares? And this is not an excuse for Jesse or anything, like, you know, dating an underage girl. That's not what I'm getting at. What I'm saying is, this was 2001, 2002 when this happened, and we live in an area, Southern California, Orange County, there's a lot of, it's more
A lot of
progressive
skin.
here.
There's a lot of skin constantly
And-
being shown.
And it's just like, this is 2001, 2002, and this is still being allowed. So is it that, God, this is really me not excusing any bad behavior at all, but there was a time and a place where this wasn't the most uncommon thing to happen.
I mean, it's the same concept as Jerry Lee Lewis marrying his like 15-year-old cousin, right? Like that's weird as fuck for sure.
It's
now
super
that's
fucking
like,
weird.
like that's where you go to jail for like life kind of shit. But like, it was weird back then too, to be fair. But like, it
Yeah, I
wasn't-
mean, well, because
it still
remember
happened,
they
and
were
he wasn't,
hiding
like-
it. They hid it for like a year.
but he wasn't
until she
ostracized
blew
for
it.
it. People, he still went to show, or he still put on shows. People still bought his tickets. He's still one of the greatest in rock and roll history.
But mind you, he was like 32 and she was 14.
I think once you
Something
hit
like
like at least in the States, right? When you're of legal drinking age, like, you essentially have your life like before you're 18, and then 18 to 21, and then after 21. Once you hit like legal drinking age and you can go to bars, it's essentially like the world is literally your
It
oyster.
changes a lot. Yeah, it changes a lot.
Like when you're
You
20,
can-
you're pretty limited to what you can do. Once you can go to bars, like fucking dude, you go anywhere. Like Vegas is now your stomping ground, and to I don't know, it's just that shit's fucking weird. Like again,
even like for us, like going to LA before we were 21 was way different. Still a lot of fun, but way different than after
Way
21.
for sure. But yeah, I think every song on here is about him being a creep. And again, even if the allegations never came out, I still think the way he writes his songs, I think he's kind of
Yeah.
a dick. I think he's kind of a douchebag.
And going back to this song too, I agree. There are some lyrics that are like, wow, this is a little sketchy.
Then he says, "My
weird.
sober, straight face gets you out of your clothes." And that, like, to me, that says like
That's like manipulation 101 right there. This
that's
is
like,
like
I'm pretending to be more drunk than I am to sleep with you, and then I'm gonna say, "Oh, I'm drunk too. Don't worry about it. Oh, I'm drunk too." Like, that's fucking gross, man. That's weird. But
Yeah.
that's not saying that we did it. Not saying that we know people that did it. Not saying that it, but like it fucking happens, right?
Yeah.
That's. Dude, parties are wild, man. Parties
Dude,
are bad
I
news.
know. I know.
Parties are bad news.
We've had
and
our experiences. Yeah.
good and bad.
Yeah, none of us have done anything bad or illegal, but we've had wild experiences. Let's just say that we've had wild.
That's true. Like our core friend group has never been a douchebag.
Yeah.
Like I mean, we've been dicks and stuff, but like never.
Not creepy. Like we never. None of
Yeah.
us. None of our friends never did anything creepy. Or things like, wow, maybe we shouldn't be friends with you. This is a little fucked
That's
up.
a little much.
Yeah, none of us really crossed that boundary.
Jahit or Kahit,
Fuck, that guy was an idiot.
like that guy.
was
You know what I
such
mean?
an
Like
idiot.
that guy was like
Yeah,
a
that guy
Jesse
was-
Lacey, even worse though. But that guy
Yeah,
was awful.
he was awful. Yeah. Damn.
But yeah,
Well-
me versus Maradona versus Elvis. I love it. I like the instrumental parts of it. The soft, the highs. I think it drops in perfectly. I don't think it needs to speed up. I think it's just a slow, dramatic song. And again, it's just like this beautiful confessional lament about how big of a douchebag he is, and he knows he's a douchebag, and he's just kind of like, fuck it, take it or leave it.
Eh.
And you gotta kind of respect that, right, a little bit, because
Yeah.
if somebody
I
knows
get
they're a
it.
douchebag and they're like, yeah, I ain't gonna change. I'm a dick. Fuck off. Trump does it, right? Like he knows he's a dickhead, and he's like, I don't give a fuck. Fuck it, whatever. He's our president, so
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
those words coming out of my mouth still feel fucking weird, even the second time. Yeah, Trump's our president.
Donald Trump is the president. Yeah.
Donald Trump is our president. Yeah, that's something, dude.
Crazy times, man. It's always been
All right.
crazy. Ever
What you
since
wanna
we've
be?
been in high school, it's been fucking crazy, man. Our life has been crazy. Yeah, the
That's
world's
true.
nuts. My number one, Sick Transit Gloria, Glory Fades.
Sick
I know.
Transit Gloria.
It's probably one of their most, like, objectively one of their most popular songs.
It's my 2B baby boy.
But goddamn, this song is so good. Like, you can't deny how fucking great this is. This has the fast and slow, slower verses, and then it double times in the verses with just the two snare. It's the gotten dun 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 dun. Like, it's just those two snare hits into that chorus, perfect. Killer fucking bass line in the verses as well. That dum 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 dum. It's just it's so basic. It's not squirrely. It's perfect for the song because in the verses there are no big guitars. It's just very kind of like trudging along, like you're trudging through the mud. Like it sounds kind of dirty and nasty, and then it picks up like you're going to battle in the chorus. You know, I fucking love that.
It's one of my favorite, like one of my favorite parts on the record is just that opening part in the chorus when it comes in the fever, focus, we try to please, we're hard to sell. Like it's just like there's a lot of words mashed in there in the second part, but the first part, like he really takes his time with it. And this is like pop punk kids who wanted to do like a funk song, right? There's nothing crazy here. It's got a solid groove. And like this is what I imagine. Like if we were to jam in high school, like, oh, let's do like a funk song. This is what it would sound like. Like pretty much that's it. And then like towards the end we get the verse and like the harms in the background too. Like come on,
dude.
the fuck out of here.
No, it's great. And
It's
that's
so
another
good.
thing that I don't think is talked about enough with Brand New are the harms between Vin and Jesse. Like Vin perfectly harmonizes with Jesse and complements him so fucking well. And there's some great back and forth that you could argue is just as good as the Taking Back Sunday back and forth between Fred and Adam, or John and Adam, or even Matt and Adam too, during that one record. But yeah, no, I love it. And also this song builds really, really nicely because you have the kind of more trudging along verse, and it's just like the closed hi-hat, doom doom gat doom 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 gat. And then he does this quick little fill. He opens up the hi-hat, so it opens the song up more. Vin comes in with that harmony, or not even harmony, but he's the background vocals, and they're kind of doing their own thing. And then it drops into the double snare hit into that chorus. So that whole build from the verse, pre-chorus, and to chorus is fucking amazing. It's so fucking amazing. I love it. Fucking love it. Also, this song, like, this is. So I'm not like a good drummer I'm not a good drummer by any means, but I have my little drum playlist on Spotify. So whenever I go and play, I throw that playlist on, and this song is always the first song I play on drums. Is Sic Transit Gloria. This is one of my favorite songs to play on the drums. It's a fucking blast for me. I love this song.
This is like your warm up song. Then
this is my warm up song. Yeah.
Okay.
On the drums. Okay. So I love it. Also that bridge too. Killer fucking bridge, because it's like it's super loud, it's very massive sounding, and then there's that super long drum roll, which I can't actually do on the drums, but I try. It's super long drum roll, and then he just goes back into the last chorus. It's fucking good. I fucking love it.
This is just a really well built song. It does a good job of making everything feel kind of like uneasy, kind of feel urgent at times, and it's just it goes along with the lyrics, and it's just a really well crafted song. And the hardcore vocals in the chorus too.
Love that.
Come on, man! Like we're sucking for that shit. That's nostalgic AF, as the kids say. It's so good.
Also, the lyric too: "Die young and save yourself." To scream that, "Die young and save yourself."
Yeah, it's so stupid.
And that's how the song ends. It's just Vinny singing that part a cappella or screaming it, just no music. The "Die young and save yourself," and then it goes into the next song. It's great. Fucking love this song.
It's a good song. That's my 2B. Like I said, it's a perfect song. Lyrically, though.
Yeah, let's get into the lyrics. What do you have on this one?
Lyrically, though, this is supposed to be about like a guy who gets pressured into sex and thus loses his virginity and loses his innocence. Blah blah blah. Because all I think about is like I can't help but think that maybe this song is about something Jesse did to somebody, like essentially a role reversal, right?
Yeah,
like that's good because that's the glasses that you gave me when you chose to make all these stupid decisions. Now I'm going through your lyrics, and again I'm not a lyric man. Haven't been a Brand New fan very long, but now all I think about is how big of a douchebag you are. And if that is so, man, it's again, these are just my thing here. It's not confirmed nor denied, but he loves writing ambiguous lyrics. And if this is about something he did to like a girl, it's just like, damn, dude. You're going straight to hell.
So I agree. I mean, this is a song where it could be done from both sides. This could be him going from, him taking advantage of a girl, or it could literally be a real life experience where a girl that he was very nervous around, or he thought he wasn't nervous around, but then when it came down to the doing the deed, he was extremely nervous about. I've been there. Like, I get it. Like, I've done stuff where I was extremely fucking nervous, and I wouldn't say I can relate to his lyrics here in his position. If you're looking at it in a non-predatory way, I can relate to parts of this song where I'm just beyond nervous and I don't know what to do. but that's a part of being young and yeah, literally not knowing what to do, thinking you know what you want and what to do in the scenario, but in the end, you really don't, and you're just dumb and you're a dumb and stupid kid. So another example, yeah, if you put on the Jesse Lacey is a predator lyric or goggles on, yeah, it can totally come off as him, being that person that's taking advantage of the girl.
How do you not though? How do you not put those goggles on?
No, I agree. I totally agree. But once again, God, if you just take that out, if you take that out of the entire equation, the predatory goggles, that sounds so stupid. If you take that out of the equation, this is I think this could be a very relatable song. It really could be, because I mean
even
but and this is also
on, it's still relatable, right? Like, it's just because the roles are reversed doesn't mean that it's still uncomfortable for like the girl, and the girl didn't want to do it. There's no difference between a guy who didn't want to, who's not ready for it and has to go through it because he's worried that his friends will make fun of him, versus like a girl in the same thing. Like, there's no difference between the two. Like, for me, the predatory thing is just another, like, I don't know, another check mark next to like why Jesse Lacey's a big fucking scumbag. It's like, oh, here's just another example, right? Like,
True.
if we're in court arguing a case, like, here's another example. Like, we're building a pattern. We're building I don't know. I don't watch these fucking crime shows where they use all these terms. Building a MO, right? What's the MO of Jesse Lacey? Like, here, show him this, show him this, show him this, show him this.
But so God, I feel like I'm defending Jesse Lacey, which I'm not doing.
You're defending the lyrics, not Jesse Lacey.
I'm defending the lyrics because I get it. Like, if you put those goggles on, everything, you could interpret any of these lyrics in a predatory way. But
I did.
In defense of the lyrics, think of how these lyrics on this record, I mean, because this is the only time we broke down the lyrics, except for Daisy, but on this one, defending them and looking at how many people were so not infatuated with Jesse, but infatuated with his lyrics, and they related to his lyrics so much for literally a couple, like almost 20 years before the allegations came into play. And that just goes to show, like, it could be possible that these lyrics were done in a more innocent, a more autobiographical way, not in a predatory way, because so many people were able to relate to his lyrics for almost 20 years. Like, how can this many people, both men and women, almost equally relate to his lyrics in almost the exact same way? And yet it's not predatory.
We've all been there.
That's my point. That's my point.
Right.
It's not until you put on the predator glasses where you're picking things apart. You're picking out like lines here and there, and then you're just kind of building this whole narrative in your mind because of something that was alleged in 2017. Once again, I'm not defending Jesse Lacey, but there is something to his lyrics in 2003 that resonated with thousands and thousands and thousands of people of both genders. Yeah, that was hard for me to get out.
No, I get it, and it's, I don't know, it's the bed that the bed that he made, right? The hole that he dug. So now he has to get into it. Now he's got to lay in it, and that's just the way it is. And with any other artist too, like musicians, actors, politicians, when something comes out, and even like the Bill Cosby thing, right? Like, now everybody that has an interaction with Bill, who had an interaction with Bill Cosby, they're going to think like, damn, when he told me that thing, was that because he was being a creep, or was that because he was being a good guy? Every single thing that he has ever done is now scrutinized. Yeah. And that's like with anybody. If we did something heinous or whatever, like everything we ever said would be taken out of context, right? And like, oh, see, this is an example. This is an example. There it is. That's a good example. This is just another example of why, like, Jesse Lacey is a creep. And I do think he's a creep, and I do think he's kind of a douchebag. And I don't think this is an autobiographical song about Jesse Lacey, because there's nothing else that he's ever done that makes you think that he's ever been a victim. I think he's only been a predator. But, like, I don't know. We've known a lot of predators in just, like, the outer circle of our group that didn't turn out to be, like, horrible people. Just kind of guys that are like, oh, yeah, I'm just gonna go after the drunkest girl here, right? That type of predator thing.
Which was which is very, very common.
It's just,
I mean, everybody knows those kind of
to pretend it doesn't exist is stupid, and it's not okay. It's not an okay thing to do.
And also, girls do that shit too. I mean, we've known girls who
yes,
go to parties just to, like, fucking pick up on a guy just to fuck him that night and like a
Yes.
one night stand, which there's nothing fucking wrong with that, but I don't know.
It gets too wishy when feelings are involved. It just gets too wishy washy, and especially with like children, right? Because even like I think like people that are like 20, 21, 22 are still children to me. To
Yeah,
us at
I
this
agree.
point, like we're just way too old for that kind of bullshit, dude. It's children. These are fucking kids.
Yeah, I was
So-
with a couple friends a few months back, and we were all talking about like, man, what's the youngest you could date? And you know, you and I are 37, and Tammy's 36, so she's a year younger than us. And Tammy was like, I couldn't really date anybody maybe a couple years younger than me, maybe like 34, 33. And even me, I was thinking, I was like, I couldn't date anybody younger than maybe 25 or 26 years old. Like, there's
You're
no
stupid.
way. Can you
Legit
imagine
too
dating?
stupid.
Can you imagine dating like a 19-year-old or 20-year-old girl? That would
No.
be. It's just
Well-
they're too stupid.
That's just like that's one of those questions where it's like, if you say like, oh, I dated a 19-year-old, you're not dating. You're only in that relationship for,
Yeah.
for one thing, right? That is it. Let's be real. That's silly boy talk. But anybody under the age of 21 is a child, because you haven't experienced like what alcohol can do to you legally now. You don't have to hide it anymore if you want to be an alcoholic. And then anybody like I don't know, like what have you really gone through at 22, right? There are exceptions to the rule, of course, but like what have you really gone through in life? Like,
Like
get the fuck out of here.
my thought behind it was like, if you've never had a real job in your life, like a real 9 to 5 kind of job, then I probably would never date you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you have to have like some sort of life experience, and people who date that young, that's some predatory shit right there.
And you just, again, if both parties are in it for the same exact reason, which is if you're dating somebody like half your age, it's just you're in it for sex, or you're in it to just
Yeah.
impregnate somebody
And-
and get
and-
your lineage going.
And I get it. If it's both consensual, then fucking go for it. Then fucking do it.
Do
man.
what you want. Who
But yeah, if you're
cares?
under 18, or even if you're 18, I mean, that's gnarly. Fucking gnarly.
That's something.
All right. So do we have
Okay,
anything
baby
else?
boy.
Do we have anything else on Sick Transit Gloria? Glory fades.
Sick Transit Gloria.
Sick
That's
Transit.
it.
Oh, you know, talking about the video. I mean, did you watch the two videos? The one for Sick Transit and
Yeah, they're stupid.
Quiet Things. Come on,
They're worthless.
They're of its time. They're sad. Or the Quiet Things video is very, very sad. But yeah, Sick Transit. It's a good video. It's enjoyable.
What's funny is I didn't remember what Jesse Lacey even looked like.
Mhm.
Like I just had no idea what he looked like until I watched the video, and I watched the videos like 3 days ago. 3 days ago, yeah. So like even up until 3 days ago, I had this image in my mind of what Jesse Lacey would look like, and it was kind of a cross between like Chris Conley from Saves the Day, and maybe I don't know, just kind of like that, kind of like dorky or whatever. But that's when I saw the video, I was like, whoa, that's not even what I imagined at all.
I'm looking up what Chris Conley looks like. Hold on. But when I type in Chris Conley, it's
Chris
some,
Conley like
it's a football player.
2005.
Okay.
Well, oh yeah.
Oh. Ew. That's what you. I'm like, Jesse Lacey's like kind of a good looking guy, and then thought he looked like Chris Conley. Damn. Okay.
I mean, yeah, it's like dorky, awkward kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Jesus Christ. All right. Let's move on. Let's move into a different song. What's your? Oh, your 2B was Sick Transit Gloria, right?
Yeah, Sick Transit Gloria.
Wait. When you say it that way, it's so dumb.
That's how I said it all week. This
I
is so
know.
stupid.
Sick Transit Gloria.
Sick Transit Gloria, like Angel. Huh? Oh, Sick Transit Gloria.
For sure, bro. For sure, bro. So yeah, the Quiet Things That No One Ever Knows. Is this a banger for you? Does it make your banger
This
list?
is not a banger for me.
Oh, you're an idiot. You're such an idiot.
This is not a banger for. There's really really good parts to this. It's just overall, I think it's basic. I think it's basic.
But I love the
That's-
basicness.
That's it. It's written to be a radio jam. Nothing wrong with that. That's
Love
fine. But compared to like everything else on the record, It's just a little like like you could have done better. It's a fucking popular song though. Oh,
Hold on. Let me go.
don't
see
hit
who's
him,
doing
Tyler.
that.
You
No,
don't shake
because
him.
I don't know if
Don't
somebody's at the
shake
door.
him.
Hold on 1 sec.
Don't you have a ring?
Yeah, but I'll tell you later. 1 second. All right, so my number 2, yeah, it's another single. I don't care. The Quiet Things That No One Ever Knows. I love this song. I think earlier you said this was not a banger for you, right?
Not
No
a banger for me. Again, it's too basic. It's too basic compared to everything else on this record. Everything else seems like they tried to write a good song and they're crafted songs. This one just sounds like it's a radio hit. But
Love it though.
there's stuff in here that made me think this could have been better if it wasn't just so like we need one for the radio. We need one for K-Rock. And here it is.
Which I get it.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, pay the bills. I get it. Got go on tour.
But so I mean, this is like a good pop punk emo song, kind of like almost a throwback to their first record too, Your Favorite Weapon, and
Kind of.
you know, it's the dual guitar attack. You know, the power chords just kind of strumming along, and then Vinny's doing the just very very simple kind of like little lead part, kind of new metally kind of lead part with the guitar. I fucking love it. And then everything goes doom doom doom. You hear the boom, you up and down the guitar and bass, boom, and then it goes into this like palm muted, just kind of like punk thing. Do, 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 do. And then Jesse's doing this like kind of whispering, kind of subtle little vocal delivery. It's fucking good. Like the ups and downs, the back and forths on this song. It's fantastic.
It's a cool song. I do like this song.
I don't think you do because it's not a banger.
It's a high okay song for me, because I do really enjoy it. And this intro, dude, is like every pop punk emo band from the early to mid 2000s. Every single fucking band did this shit. And that part, especially when it goes back into that, we did that cool drum beat with your mouth. That's
doom, doom, bam.
yeah. And then goes back into like a lot of bands would just go right back into that like palm muted like verse, right? Like Alkaline Trio did that shit a lot. Like Hey Mercedes, that's their whole fucking second record. Like everybody did it, and it's cool, and I like it. It's a little bit too generic for me to put it as a banger. That's what I did. But it's fucking popular, bro. It was on One Tree Hill, named an episode after. Remember that stupid show? It was on the soundtrack,
show, but I never watched it.
It was on the soundtrack to Tiger Woods 2004. I think it was on another soundtrack for video game too. But Tiger Woods 2004, it was on that soundtrack, and I remember that being on there, and I was like, that sounds kind of whatever's. So.
Isn't it kind of weird? There were shows like we've talked about the OC obviously a lot because we both love the OC TV show.
Love it.
How they used a lot of like indie bands and things like that on the show, and I wouldn't say necessarily popularized them, but made them more for the masses or exposed them, I should say. One Tree Hill was another show. I feel like there was a lot of like indie bands coming out of that, and even on One Tree, I never watched the show, but there was one episode of One Tree Hill that the Murder Dolls were actually on. They performed a show or a song on One Tree Hill. Isn't that wild? In 2003 or whatever, 2004.
Must have been cool, scraping the bottom of the barrel for that one. Jesus.
I was wondering what kind of insult you were going to throw at them. And
good Lord.
Yeah. There you go.
No, there's a lot of. You're right though. There was. I never watched like Dawson's Creek either. Like it wasn't my jam. I never watched One Tree Hill either. I just never liked those things. But like even Dawson's Creek, like I know my sister watched it a lot, and I remember saying like, "Oh, I know that song." Like, "Oh, I know that song." Similar to like the OC, not quite as like indie rock fun as the OC, but yeah, it's fun.
So anyway,
the Quiet Things That No One Ever Knows. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
So the chorus though, getting back to the chorus real quick.
Dude,
that
emo
is Taking
yelling
Back Sunday.
and shrieking,
Taking Back Sunday.
battling harms. Fuck
God,
yeah.
the back and forth. That's straight up Taking Back Sunday. I fucking love it. Also, that bridge hits. Everything stops. Everything stops except for the vocals. He kind of like yells, not screams, but just yells, and then just the single snare hit. Back into it. Perfect. So basic. So basic, but I fucking love it. Love it so much. Great fucking song. 2B. Second banger for me.
Definitely not a 2B. That's silly. But it's a good song.
So what do you have lyrically on this one?
It's just about a relationship finally ending. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, what I gathered from it, it's being in a relationship, knowing it's not going to go anywhere, and just kind of ending it before it kind of needs to, because in the end, you know, you're never going to marry this girl. Who cares? Like, let's end it now while we're happy, and that's what it is, and that's how like the first part of the song is, and then you get to the last verse, and then to me, the last verse is another perspective, like, oh, I ignored my feelings. I decided to stay with her, and now I regret it. We have kids. We're married. We have kids now. I regret it. That's kind of like the last verse. It's the two perspectives of the relationship, of how the relationship went, and I think it's killer. I think it's fucking killer.
It is good songwriting, like the way he kind of like personifies his feelings based on what he's saying, like outside when he uses like the coastal things and stuff like that. And I do agree that when you get to that last verse, it's kind of like he would rather stay in a shitty relationship just because like it's convenient. And then now it's like he's in fucking so deep that he has kids now. Like that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
But it was reminding me of like an early meme that I saw, and they had like a husband and a wife, or a boyfriend and girlfriend, a guy and a girl just arguing about something. Mm-hmm. And the girl like was like a little think bubble, bloop, 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 bloop. And then her thought was like, LOL, I can fake orgasms or something like that. And the guy was like, bloop, bloop, bloop. And it was like, LOL, I faked our relationship. And I was like, damn. I don't know why I always thought that was so fucking funny. It's just like, it's so unnecessary. It's so aggressive. But that's what this song reminds me of. Is just like faking that relationship, just going through the motions, dude, until the point where it's like, well, I guess now we're fucking. This is our life now. And he's kind of a butthole about it too. So whatever.
Some of the lyrics though, I do love on this one. So like right off the bat, the first three lines: "We saw the western coast, I saw the hospital, and nursed the shoreline like a wound." Oh fuck, man, I love that.
Nurse the shoreline like a wound. See, like that.
I just. As a couple, they just see positive times and a future together. But deep down, he knows it's the end. He saw the hospital. He saw this is the death of I see the death of the relationship, and then he nursed the shoreline like a wound. Oh, I fucking love it. I love that line. I love that those three lines right there.
Fucking emo.
It's so emo. Yes.
Hot topic.
It is, but that
belongs on a T-shirt. That belongs in cursive on your wrist, like a tattoo. Like that's what that is.
I like it so much. And then also the two lines in the chorus. So keep the blood in your head and keep your feet on the ground. I fucking love it. I fucking love that. Oh my God. Like don't be sad that we're breaking up. Don't be depressed. Don't kill yourself because we're breaking up. Keep the blood in your head and keep your feet on the ground. Just the way he describes suicide because of the end of a relationship. It's so emo. It's so childish. It's so adolescent. I love it. I fucking love it. It's great.
It's good.
God damn.
It's very of its time. It's good. It's solid.
It's still good. I don't give a fuck. What are we, 22 years, 23 years later? I think it's fantastic.
This is a better like 2-3B than whatever the fuck the other one. Oh no, this is the one. Yeah. No.
This is my 2B.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
Anything else on Quiet Things? We good with this one?
No, we're good. Moving on.
What's your number 3? Your third banger, 3B.
Okay, I believe you, but my Tommy gun don't. That's my 3B.
Okay, that's something, dude. It's not a banger for me, but let's
choose like the dumb song. Is that what you did? Just choose the dumb songs?
The dumb songs, bro.
First of all, like what a transition, right? From the song before, I will play my game beneath the spin light. That's a perfect transition. This could have been just one fucking continuous song. This kind of picking is fun, like throwing in that open string in the transition between chords. That dun 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 dun. Right, that's always effective. At least for me,
I like it. I like it too.
It transports me back to this exact era. Like every fucking pop punk band, like Tom does it all the time. Every emo band, everybody did this shit. And like when I'm playing something like this, I church it up with that little open note there before I go into something else because it makes you feel special, makes you feel edgy.
But it helps build the song. It helps build tension in the song because the first verse it's just the clean channel, palm muting it, And then the second verse comes along and he opens it up a little bit. That's the build. That's the build. That's the tension. You're getting bigger, 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 and then it explodes. Fucking love it.
I like that his voice is in the front here because he's not like a great singer, and this vocal performance is like, that's a weird flex because it doesn't sound very good, and he's not like overly murdered with effects. A little bit verb there, but it's honest, dude. Like his vocal performance here, it's honest. Vocally, it's honest and it's open, and it's like here is the way I sound. Right, this is me, and I think if the lyrics are what like I think they are, then it kind of goes into that. It kind of fits the theme of the song, and I like that. That's cute. It's a cute thing to do.
It's a cute.
It's a cute. It's a cute. It's a cute.
Wait, I think you know what? I take it back. I fucked up when I was doing my finalizing my notes today. This is actually my 3B because I kind of the way I do my notes is kind of out of order. So
Good.
yeah, no, I originally put my number 3 as I will play my game beneath the spin light, which is not my number 3, and it's actually okay. I believe you, but my Tommy gun don't. So that's actually my number 3. Good. So I was wrong. Because I'm kind of like going through my notes again and thinking about it. I'm like, no, I love these parts because the bridge hits as well, and then so everything gets kind of heavy because everything drops after that build up with the clean channel and the single notes. And then it drops with the full band in and that bass line. It's the bass line that's fucking killer. It's the bass line that's absolutely fucking killer in this song too. And then the bridge comes and it's just the bass line isolated and nothing else. It's perfect.
Yeah, that part's cool because you get like this like fuzzed out like bass and that transition that's out of the chorus, and it really lets a song pick up traction because like you can't go back to the soft style in the first verse because that's just like we're already past that now. We're going to something else. And if you just double time it and then just go into like a faster part in the second verse, it's kind of like, that's cheesy. But that fuzzed out bass leading into the chorus kind of like gives you that little appetizer. Here's where we're going to go. And like the bass leads and transitions this song, which is really cool.
It's great. It's a great song.
I feel like I have one more sneeze coming out.
You sneezed like 4 times already, just in the matter of 30 seconds.
I can't help my sneezes, Tyler.
Well,
okay.
You could mute the mic.
No,
you could.
This is uncensored, kid. All right.
Uncensored. Okay. That's why I cut out like 35 minutes of the. Dude, I literally cut out like 35 minutes of the Rage episode that we did a couple weeks ago.
That went off. That went off the rails too.
Yeah, that one was wild.
It wasn't bad or anything. It's just like, how interesting is that going to be?
For most people, it's not going to be interesting. So
I wasn't interested.
I know. All right. So yeah. So lyrically, what do you have on this song?
It's supposed to be about the Lazara and the beef overall. But it kind of, I don't know. I kind of see it too as like Jesse realizing the feud between the two pretty much helped launch both of their careers to like new heights. Like Jesse kind of understands how sensationalized the feud became without realizing the repercussions of embracing the feud, which I think on the one hand, it's like, yeah, I'm sure like John and Jesse were mad at some point, but I don't think they probably got over it like damn near instantaneously. But they realize that feuding is going to get them sales, right? People are going to come watch them feud and do that stuff. But in doing so, they probably started to both, at least with Jesse, he probably started to believe it. And he's like, damn, if I keep doing this, I'm going to have more fans, but I'm going to lose these friends. And I think the song is more about Jesse regretting losing a friend by playing into the feud. Like the chorus really, really reinforces that thought, talking about like focusing on falling apart, but also throwing the fight, right? Like throwing a fight in boxing means like we're both in on it. So we're both going to pretend to hate each other, but we're not really mad at each other. And it ends with like eventually us making up, hopefully. So I think that's what the song's really about is like the feud itself, but more so like Jesse regrets losing a friend over something that probably didn't even exist. And like we've talked about the sensationalism of this feud.
Yeah, I mean, even both Jesse and John have come out and said that it was sensationalized. They said like the fans made a bigger deal about it than the guys in the bands actually did, and it ended way before the fans knew about, or knew about it. And but also like going back to it, oh, you're sneezing. There you go. You got really quiet for a second.
I'm muting my mics. Yeah.
There you go. You're doing something.
That's why I did the yelling thing. Is like, well, I'm muting my fucking mic. I blew my nose.
It threw me off because you never do that.
It's new me.
So what I was saying, or my train of thought here was, it's your new what?
It's a new me. It's
Oh,
so
new.
stupid. It's a new
Very dumb.
me.
Yeah.
What the fuck do they even mean?
But what I was gonna say is like these guys, they were young when they all started bands together. They were teenagers. They were in high school at some point as well, and they acted like it. Like they took everything way too seriously. They took, I mean, I get it. Like Jesse slept with John's girlfriend at the time when they were like 18 or whatever. There was they had a huge falling out, and then eventually Jesse had a falling out with Adam from Taking Back Sunday, and it's just like all these guys were like constantly bickering and fighting and shit like that, which was kind of like, man, even when you're 19 or 20 years old, like this much bickering and fighting is really stupid. Like,
Yeah.
but these guys, they they took it to heart, and it was stupid, and that's what this song is. Yeah, maybe he sensationalized it himself in this song, but there were some like direct hits at Adam on this one too, like the stuttering. There's like in one of the verses, like he intentionally stutters because that's what Adam does, because Adam actually kind of does have a stutter, or he had a stutter at the time. So he was making fun of his vocals and his lyrics and how arrogant Adam is in his lyrics and this and that. Because the first two verses are that. It's just straight up calling him out, calling him kind of like a dick, and talking about like he's not that good of a lyricist or songwriter. And then the third one is just straight up dissing him, like just like this is almost like a hip hop
controversial.
like this.
So good.
Reading the lyrics, it kind of reminded me of like a hip hop track, like where one rapper
Or a
is
diss
dissing another
track.
rapper. Yeah, this like is straight up a diss track. That's what this is.
But like that second verse, he said, I hope this song starts a craze, the kind of song that ignites the airwaves.
Yeah,
Like he fucking knows. Like he knows what he's doing here, and he knows that. I think that he knows that it's going to give him more sales. People are like, I'm on Jesse's side, or even people that are I'm on Adam's side. They're still going to show up to fucking brand new shows, and it's going to be, it's like bad press is better than no press type of thing, and he knows that.
yeah. I mean that second verse, I think this is him just calling Adam a liar and like a fake, and
I'm a liar.
and he's just saying that he hopes everybody sees Adam for what he is, and a fraud, a bullshitter. So that's what I got on this one. In the end, it's a diss song. It's an absolute diss song. Silly, stupid, but these guys were young, early 20s, early to mid 20s, which is still in the end is still a little bit old to be acting like a 15-year-old girl. So
Yes. 'Cause I'm a liar.
I'm a spider. Speaking of another possible creep, yeah. Anyway.
Already did that one.
That was we already did say anything. Max Bemis. My number 3 was also Okay, I Believe You. Or do you have anything else on this song? Should we move on?
No, that's it. That's all.
All right. So what's your number 4?
Right before it, I Will Play My Game Beneath the Spin Light.
Okay, yeah. This one is definitely not a banger for me. Still a good
Yeah,
song.
'cause it's like an
but it's a
acoustic
banger.
song, and you hate acoustic songs, so you like ballads, but you don't like acoustic songs. So that's always been kind of
okay.
weird to me.
Okay. This is more
but
like
okay.
a singer-songwriter kind of song, which is fine, but it's just not my thing. Not my thing.
That's fine. That's okay. We talked about this. Why did we talk about this the other day? Because you hated something. What did you hate?
Oh, I hated something, but you're like, oh, but you love Neil Young, and it's like,
Yarr.
damn, I don't know. You and I got in some fight in our chat, but I don't remember what it was now. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's move on. You and I fight like every fucking day about some dumb shit.
About
So I have
some
no idea
obscure artist that like nobody cares about, and obviously we don't care that much about it because I don't remember what it was.
We just kind of want to like rip into each other, like roast each other. And, yeah, I don't know.
Pretty much, yeah. It's an acoustic ditty here. It does a good job. I like that the little lead part later on, which is like so elementary. That one does like hark back to like your favorite weapon, but it works here because this song is simple, like at its core.
Yeah.
And the song is like supposedly based off a novel about a guy who like lives and dies basketball to the point where nothing stops him from playing. And I just want to bring up Kobe. Kobe always like always reminds me of Kobe. Like that type of like drive always reminds me of Kobe. And anytime I can talk about Kobe briefly is always going to be a good thing because I love Kobe.
Another alleged predator, but thanks.
I mean, that's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to go down that. Yeah, I get it.
Kobe.
I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
I miss Kobe. I really do. Lyrically, this song's cool. It's about the woes of like being in a band and touring and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the second verse opening lines are maybe like my favorite on the whole record. He said, hold on there, dude.
Well,
Hold on there,
pot
dude.
talking, dude.
Hold on there, dude.
Well, that
Okay,
dude.
this will help.
A little, yes. More beer will help with the pot
A
talking.
little sip of the brewski there. I wrote more postcards. See,
Oh,
that's what
there
it
we
is.
go.
It's the R's. There's too many R's. Why are there so many R's in this? Say it. Just say the first line. If you have it.
Okay, wait, with the chorus or the which one?
I wrote more postcards than hooks. There it is. I wrote more.
I wrote more postcards than hooks. There you go.
I don't know why
Easy.
the R.
Easy peasy.
I don't know why I'm putting an R in postcards. First R. There's already R there. I wrote more postcards than hooks. I read more maps than books. Feel like every chance to leave is another chance I should have took. And that's. I said it terribly there because I was really trying not to say too many R's. But
it was so jilted. It was just so rough. That was rough.
But it kind of follows that like BBA format, right? Like the one's from Man Nantucket, and he was eating a bucket in the middle of the night. What was it, right? Like that kind of like rhyming scheme. It's very basic. It's very cool. But it's good. It's good like imagery here. It's because we know what he's talking about. We know how he feels. We know how lonesome, homesick he is.
Mm-hmm.
Lonesome. I almost said lone sick.
Lone sick. That's a new one.
They had pod talking. It's just rough on this one. Actually, the whole second verse is really, really very open and sad for him. And like you do kind of feel for him in this aspect. You do kind of feel like, oh, that must suck being on the road. And like I get it. And actually, I don't get it because I don't give a fuck. Just go home if you're tired. But whatever.
Go home if you're tired. But
It's too loud, turn it down.
also touring prior to like 20 or like prior to like 2007, 2006, touring before then was significantly more difficult because of technology. There was a lot less technology, or it sucked, no smartphones, I mean, there was Skype, but it wasn't like you couldn't really do that. There wasn't Wi-Fi in as many places. So when you're out on the road, that's it. Like, yeah, you can get to a phone every once in a while, but you're not constantly connected with everybody at home. And I get it. I mean, that could be fucking lonesome. And when you're that young, like late teens, like straight out of high school, and you're only there with 3-4 other dudes in the van, like that
talking
could
about
be
the same
really,
things over and over every day,
that could
every
be
week.
lonely and isolating, and that could really fuck up your psyche and your mental state.
Not to mention just like our country's fucking big, dude. Like it's massive. And the only way to get from like point A to point B, like MapQuest was a big thing. Let's print out fucking directions, right? Or let's I forgot what they're called. Like the Thomas guides. That's what they're called. I'm literally just gonna say the Thomas guides. Like that's it. That's all you had. Yeah. And you have to rely on promoters. You have to rely on on people that own venues or run venues. And you're just going back and forth via email, maybe a phone call here or there. But if you get there and like shit hits the fan, like you can't just text like, "Hey Jim, where are you at? Doors are locked." Like, no, it could take hours to get a response. And by that time, like your whole fucking night's shot. All that money's wasted. All that time is wasted.
Yeah.
So that's
and you also have to think, I mean, yeah, the country is enormous. The United States is enormous, but especially when you're touring in the winter, like back then, you can just hop on your phone and see, oh, well, there's going to be a fucking blizzard for the next 2 days, or there was nothing. It's just like, okay, we're going to tour in February or January. Let's hope for the best going through Illinois and Wisconsin and Montana. Let's hope we don't run off the road. And going back to the movie life that we did last week, in 2000 and 2001, they got in 2 bad van accidents because they toured during the winter. and they went through the Midwest. Or no, one was like going through Montana, and the other accident was going from Oregon down to California in like February. And yeah, I mean, people outside of the U.S. don't understand how big this fucking country is, and they've clearly never been on a proper road trip like us, like we have growing up and as adults.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned on the movie, like you drove to Ohio. That was like a 28-hour drive.
It was 36 hours.
Yeah, you know, I've done.
We only stopped for gas. We didn't sleep. We didn't go to a hotel. We just shifts. Touring probably sucked, man. Like it was probably rough. But again, like this is art. You should not be in this for the money if you are doing something like art. It's just that's the name of the game.
I don't know. Should we talk about any more bangers? I mean, we're pretty deep into this. Do you want to? What do you want to do? Talk about a couple songs, parts, then wrap it up. What do you think?
We should at least like go. My only other notes that I have that I wrote a lot of notes for was The Boy Who Blocked His Own Shot.
The book that the title of that song was based off of.
What's the fucking name of the song then?
Oh no! I'm sorry. The name of the song was "I Will Play My Game." Wait, what is it? What is it called?
We've already moved on. I will play my game beneath the spinlight.
Yeah, that was the song that we were talking about, right?
Yeah, we moved on. He said, "Is there anything else you want to talk about?" I said, "I want to talk about The Boy Who Blocked His Own Shot."
Wait, isn't that the name of the? Oh, never mind. I'm completely forget what I was. Sorry,
dude. I've already forgotten.
Completely. Yeah.
As you speak,
continue.
I
Sorry.
Before you finish the sentence, I've already forgot. So.
God. This night is so fucked up. Oh my god.
Life's just a little fucked up.
I'm all over the place. Yeah, let's get
Ruben,
into that
dude.
song.
Ruben was barking at that ghost at the front door or something.
I know.
Just got you
got me all fucked up.
all discombobulated.
Yeah, what do you got on this song? Not a banger for me.
It's not a banger for me. But like lyrically, I think there's just a lot of things here I like to read into. And this is like clearly the I cheated and fucked up song here. It's full of self-hate. See? Self. Like what is that self? It's full of self-hate, but not necessarily regret for the action, but the consequence of that action, right? And that kind of like you see it all the time. People say, "Oh, I'm sorry." It's like, "Motherfucker, you're not fucking sorry, dude. You're just sorry you got caught. Like that's it. You're not actually sorry you're fucking somebody over. You're just sorry they got caught doing it, dickhead." And more interesting here is there's a lot of me and I in this song. So he's definitely taking responsibility for what he did, but also kind of like overdoing it to the point where I think he's trying to make her feel bad.
He's manipulating
for not accepting her back, right?
Yeah.
It's like, well, if you can't forgive me, then I'll just die. Like that type of extreme. And it's like, dude, like fucking A, man.
That's called manipulation, dude. That's
be a dude, man. Like just be a normal dude. And then like the line that I like a lot because it just it showcases exactly like what I think the song was about is when he says it's as cold as a tomb, it's dark in your room when I sneak to your bed to pour salt in your wounds. It's like, man, that's the most douchebaggy thing on this whole fucking record. Purposely trying to get back with this girl he fucked over, knowing he's just going to cause her more pain. This is manipulation and grossness at its finest. Even though like he probably thought in his young mind this is maybe like gallantry or some shit through his fucking stupid young adult eyes, right? Like, oh, sex will solve everything. As long as she accepts me back, then we're good to go. Like, man, it just... Oh, it's so gross, dude. And it's just, if he didn't say sneak, right? The word sneak is what makes it so fucking terrible. When I sneak to your bed, like, damn, it's not like literally sneaking like Pink Panther creeping, but more like he's probably saying things to her, right? Like complimenting her or doing things that are just so fucking gross, dude. Ugh. But I do think this song is essentially a poem you would write in high school to like the girl you cheated on. And while I don't condone like the shit that young adults do, like cheating and stuff like that. But like, dude, these are stupid fucking kids, stupid fucking kids. So I'm not surprised. But like, Jesse was 22 when he wrote this song. And so again, goggles on, I can't help but think who he's talking about here. And like, that just fucking grosses me out.
Yeah. I mean, putting the predator goggles on, which sounds
PGs
terrible. The PGs on. yeah, this comes off as very creepy in hindsight, and also reading like reading about some of the allegations, the girls were saying like, or the few girls that came out, they were saying that he would say, oh, if you don't do this, if you don't send me nudes, or if you don't strip for me, or you don't watch me masturbate, then you're not going to come to the next show in whatever city you're in. Like, you're not coming to the show. Like, he would straight up threaten them and manipulate them, and
I'm gonna
like,
skip Houston.
And hearing or reading about that, and then reading the lyrics to this, it's like, damn, dude, this was his personality, and I get it. Like, he's come out and said, like, I had a major sex addiction, and I've done
which
all
is
this
always
therapy.
just like, oh my god.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I get it. But yeah,
I'm addicted to pizza. I don't. Maybe there is like an actual and making fun of something that probably I shouldn't be making fun of. I don't know, but like, to me that always reads as
PLA.
like, oh,
PLA.
I'm addicted to pizza.
Yeah,
The fuck is what is PLA?
Pizza Lovers Anonymous.
Is that a thing?
No, I just completely made it up. No, not real at all.
Oh man,
I'm making light of a gnarly situation, or anyway, it doesn't matter. The boy who blocked his own shot.
yeah, not a banger for me, but I did enjoy going through the lyrics and getting mad at Jesse for it.
Yeah. So honestly, the only other bangers I have are Jaws theme swimming and Guernica.
Guernica's my 5, Jaws my 6. Okay.
Jaws is 4, 5 is Guernica. So, and really Guernica, it's that thrashy guitar riff. Fucking love it. There's the highs and the lows, the quiets and the louds in this song. This has a little bit of everything. Guernica is almost kind of like the thesis statement of this entire song, even though it's the second to last song or third to last song. I think it's fantastic. It's playlistable. It's awesome. I love this.
Yeah,
song.
this was the most like the New Jersey hardcore scene song on the record.
Yeah.
Like this song is like, okay, I get it. These guys did come from that scene of like we did in the movie Life and Lifetime. Did you ever listen to Lifetime?
Wait, did I listen to that?
I told you to. I said that you probably would like them, but you probably didn't listen to them. I'll remind you tomorrow.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a good song. It's cool. It's
good. Yeah. It also has that very kind of Sick Transit Gloria kind of feel to it as well. The slow and fast, and it's what they did well on this record in the end. But I don't know. Let's wrap. We've talked about most of these songs. Let's wrap it up. Final thoughts. We're going to rank the record based off of our world famous 3-point rating system, where 3 is a perfect album, 2 is a good album you're going to continue to listen to, 1 is a bad album, but give it a shot, and 0 is the worst thing you've ever heard. So what do you got? Go.
Like objectively, right? If we just take the PGs off, this is a good record. It's cohesive. Everything kind of like stays in the same realm of what it wants to talk about. The topics discussed, even though they are very of its time, these are not topics that people still talk about today because the shit does not fucking. To be honest, I don't fucking know if it happens today or not. But I feel like with the invention of smartphones and things, I would think that people don't get taken advantage of as much as they used to, because you can just like pop your phone up and be like, "Hey, who are you talking to?" And like that's gonna immediately like, "Oh,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?" Like predators are gonna, "Oh, I'm there, dude." But again, I don't know. I haven't been 15, 20, 25 in at least 10 years. So
Yeah.
15 years now because we're like 40 essentially. But this is a very nostalgic thing. This goes back to formative years, right? Like core memories are being tapped into when listening to this, when thinking about things, when talking about situations and remembering, oh, either I was in that situation, or I knew somebody was in that situation, or I knew the person at the fucking butt end of that situation. Mm-hmm. So this is a time and place thing, and I don't foresee like Brand New resonating with younger audiences in the way it did with us. Like I don't foresee like Nick and Kaylee growing up and listening to Brand New and like, oh, I totally get what he's saying.
Yeah,
because a lot of these situations,
it was a time and place.
Like why are you homesick on the road? Like it's just so easy just to go home, right? Like, or
Well,
just
I think it's also like party culture and party culture when we were in high school and party culture now. I think is very very different, especially where we live on the West Coast. Essentially, like I don't feel like that really exists anymore. It doesn't exist the way we experienced it when we were teenagers and even in the 90s, 80s, and 70s as well. Like it's different. Like, can you imagine? So your son's Nick. He's 16. Can you imagine him going to a party like a party we did when we were a teenager, or like a warehouse party, like to see a show, see a bunch of bands play? Like, can you imagine Nick doing that?
he wanted to go to fucking Escape the Fate or something on his own with his friend or something. I was like, no, dude. Like, no, you're not ready for that.
But also, when we were 16, we were allowed to go. I mean,
Not only were we allowed to go, but it was like we got dropped off, 5 hours early and stayed 3 hours late. Right, we were just gone all day with no cell phone, with nothing.
Nothing.
But I don't know. Maybe there's always weirdos out there, right? We just don't know about them until now because now there's the invention of like fast information travel via internet, text messaging, phone calls, things like that. But society's fucking weird, man.
Yeah.
People are weird. And even like the whole concept of like old movie star men dating, like Al Pacino, dude, like dating like younger women. That's like they're of age, but that's a weird form of like pedophilia, dude. That's fucking weird, man. Like there's one thing, just like you like in Seinfeld, Denise Richards won one episode, and she was leaning over and her cleavage was hanging out, and Jerry nudged George, gave him a little tap, just to like look up, peek, and look away, right? Look up, peek, look away. But in the show, she's over 18, but in the show she's supposed to be 15, and he gets caught like looking at her cleavage, and the whole episode is based around. The whole episode is based around. I mean, this is such a Larry David thing, right? The whole episode is based around like, dude, if you poke me and there's cleavage in the area, I'm gonna look. It's in me. I'm gonna look. And he just so happened to get caught while he was looking. I don't know why has anything to do with what I was just talking about.
This is a sign that we need to really just kind of wrap it up and end. Even though we're already wrapping it up.
So fucking funny. Whatever. Yeah. It's just this is a timestamp, and I think in probably like 50 years from now, this is just going to go down in history as just being that thing that my dad used to like, or that thing that my grandpa had a vinyl record of. This is something that is not going to. That's not going to last, man. I don't think the New Jersey
It's not going to
scene,
transcend. It's not going to transcend generations like your Zeppelins, your Sabbaths, your
Blink, Green Day. Those will transcend generations.
Yeah.
But brand new, Taking Back Sunday, Movie Life. Nah.
That whole scene, no, it's not going to transcend the same way because it was so hyper specific to a genre and to a scene, like
an age group, a scene, a genre.
Because when you look at your Blink, Green Day, Nirvana's, Soundgardens, all that stuff from the 90s, that was all very broad. It was radio. Like everybody knew those bands. Everybody knew those songs. This is not. This is very niche. Yeah, they were played on MTV, but it wasn't like they weren't this phenomenon. But this whole scene was not that. So yeah, it's very. Yeah, it's not gonna transcend.
Pains me. Pop punk just like dead. So anyway, like objectively, I think this is a great record. I think it achieves. It sets out to do something. It sets out to show the world who Jesse Lacey is. And I think at this point, Jesse Lacey probably didn't even realize he's a douchebag. He's just kind of like, oh, this is the scene that I'm in. And it's not right or wrong. It's just that was the fucking scene, dude, like through and through. So like retrospectively, like, yeah, that scene was pretty toxic and pretty shitty. And this is just an honest confession from Jesse Lacey. Here's who I am. And it just turned out to be like, in hindsight, that scene was pretty bad. And you're a pretty bad dude. And you're kind of a douchebag. So whatever. But like, it's still a good fucking record, dude. It's still well made. Like every song transitions to the next really, really nicely. These are well-written tracks. 275. 275.
No
275.
Oh my God.
And
I thought you were going to give this like maybe a 2.
It's tough. It's tough because like I don't want to. I really don't want to. But it is a well-crafted, put-together album. It's cohesive. It makes sense. It tells individual stories that are still under the umbrella of this specific scene. And yes, I'm nostalgic for this scene because this is our scene. This is the scene that, again, we're tapping into core memories here. These are formative years for us.
Yeah.
It's very, very nostalgic, but it achieves exactly what it tries to do.
Damn. Okay.
It sets a goal and fucking smashes that goal.
I'm fucking surprised. Wow. 2.75. Okay.
275.
Wow. All right. So my final thoughts on this one. Yeah, it's not going to transcend generations, but it's still solid. It's a solid output. Great fucking songs. I don't think every song is a fucking banger, but I get it. It belongs here. It's a well sequenced record. Everything transitions well into the next song. It has its ups and downs. I think it's fantastic. I think every member has their place and every member is good. Like nobody shines. Like outside of the lyrics, nothing shines on this record, but that's fine. That's totally okay. You don't need some guy fucking soloing or some fucking amazing drummer or some shit like that. But everybody has their place. Great fucking songs. Great songwriting. Brand New are not my favorite band, but they're not even close to one of my favorite bands. But I've always enjoyed listening to them. And Tammy, she loves this band. She fucking loves this band. And she loves Deja Entendu. She loves Devil and God. I mean, she knows every lyric from both of those records. She fucking loves this band. So I hear them all the time. Like we always listen to these two Brand New records. And yeah, I mean, lyrically, I think Jesse Lacey just an amazing lyricist. He really is. Yeah, it sucks he's a creep and the shit that he did, the grooming and all that kind of stuff, the allegations, it sucks. But he's a great lyricist. And with that, I'll give this a 2.5 out of 3. 2.5 out of 3.
It's a good record.
No, it is. It really is.
I'm not gonna fucking
But
lie.
It's like, could I give this a 2.75? I could, but I think Daisy's just a better record. Daisy is a better record, but that's not a perfect record. So that's why I can't put
2.8 and this is 2.75.
Well,
you
don't get too crazy.
You don't have to be restrictive to this the 0.25s.
I know. It's our own stupid rating system. But in the end, I'll give this a 2.5 out of 3. And I give Daisy a 2.75 out of 3 because I love that record too. And I would get Deja Entendu on vinyl. I do like this record a lot. I've already looked into it. I've been searching for it. So yeah, I'll get this on vinyl. Good. More for me and you.
Good.
So that's all I have for this episode. Thank you all for listening. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts. If you're watching on YouTube, smash that subscribe button. And we are finishing up Long Island season next week with a big band from that specific island, and we're gonna have some good drinks, to end out Long Island season on the podcast. So stay tuned for that. And that's it. That's all. I'm just losing.